Hello, you awesome friends. I am live streaming with the legendary Shaun Tucker, phone in hand, waiting for it to come up on LinkedIn. How are you tonight, Shaun Tucker? What's happening?
Ed, I'm doing amazingly well and, happy to be here chatting with you all about health, all things health, and really exciting news coming up as well.
Oh, and look at my phone. It's now got Edward Zia is live now. I'm live now with the Shaun Tucker. And to everyone watching, if you just come in, hit that like, share, and comment. Hit that like, share, and comment. Say hello. Tell us where you're from. And for everyone who doesn't know this, Shaun Tucker is the guy that helped me lose 20 kilos. Shaun, thank you again for that. Tell us all about how you did that to me. What were your dirty tricks to get me to lose all that weight, Shaun Tucker?
Well, I just want to make it clear I didn't do anything to you, but my suggestions for you were certainly to take intermittent fasting much more seriously. And the rules when it comes down to intermittent fasting are really simple. And for your body type, right? So you're naturally going to be a bit more stockily built because you're naturally more prone to gaining a bit more extra weight. And I think
Hmm.
COVID certainly put you in that state of just being really overweight. Which I was speaking to someone we both know this morning, and they said they met you and you're much more chubby than you are now. So I can certainly back that up.
Yeah. Well, I was actually on a funny note, and Lassie thinks this is funny too. Oh my God, we got Intran with it. Intran, welcome, love your work. We've got Reza with us. We got Absawayas with us. Oh my God, welcome everyone. And just so you know, I am looking at my phone. I don't mean to be rude to anyone, but just so you know, the comments appear on my phone. We've got Christiana T. Johnson, and we've got 13 of you viewers live. So isn't that cool? We've got 13 people live right now, Shaun Tucker. Does that make you happy?
Right, it does. Lucky number 13, right?
13 beautiful people. Just come in, like, share, comment, tell us where you're from. You got any health questions? Pop them in the chat because we want to hear it. And it's funny actually, because on a funny note, like I work from home, we got a global business and all that. I spend a lot of time talking and hanging out with mums actually. So I do. If I'm at home, I'll try and do school drop off and pick up. But if I'm out of town, I won't. And wonderful Lassie does it. But
Mm-hmm.
so I spend a lot of my time hanging out with moms and stuff. And one of them said to me, Ed, you're fading away. She goes, when I met you, it was chubby guy. Now you're all fading away. And she goes, don't lose any more weight, okay? And it felt good because A, I know she doesn't lie. But B, I got to say, your intermittent fasting has been amazing for me. I want to ask you, Shaun Tucker, I've got my own theories which are wrong. Can you tell us a bit about the science of intermittent fasting? How does it work? Why is it so effective? And why do so many people like me benefit from it?
Well, what it does is it allows your body to rest. We're actually living in a time now that is the most comfortable time that humans have ever lived in. We have food available to us at all hours of the day. I'm pretty sure
Mm,
we can get food delivered to us any time of the day.
yeah.
And this is actually quite detrimental for the system overall. Because if we're constantly feeding it, we we go through processes of growing and decaying at the same time. Not always at the exact same time, but throughout the day, to build muscle, you've got to actually make it break away and make it fade away in many ways. You're destroying muscle as you're building muscle because when you're recovering, it's similar to digestion as well, right? So you actually have to give your body and your system time for it to rest so that it can take all of the nutrients and do what it needs to do. It'll overstimulate and stimulate certain organs at different times of the day. It'll do all these really cool things in your body. But if you're not allowing it that rest time and you're constantly just giving it food, and in most cases, when you're eating all hours of the day, you're not eating the best food either. So you're eating junk food and it's actually just completely throwing out things like your blood sugar. It's throwing out all of these, like your stomach acid's now not able to produce well. It's doing all these things to your system and it's causing a lot of harm. So what
Mm.
intermittent fasting does is it's really simple. You just stop eating between certain times. You allow that process to just reset and recuperate itself, and you just let it happen like it naturally would. If we went back thousands of years ago, we wouldn't have access to food all the time. So evolutionarily, our systems haven't really caught up to the times that we're in. That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, because it makes perfect sense. Because you're right. If you think about it for a second, the human body is not built to eat 24/7. It's built really. At the end of the day, we're developed to have one or two large meals a day and then leave us alone. That's kind of how we've, it's like, again, I don't mean to get too political here, but it's like, how modern politics today is always pushing back against biology and biochemistry. Again, I don't mean to get political, but what I mean is that I've noticed that whenever politics goes against nature, nature always wins. And it's exactly that. Like if we eat 24/7 because we want to, our millions of years of evolution is just not built for it. I couldn't agree with you more. It's completely incompatible.
That's right. And it just gives it a nice reset. So the 16-8 rule is usually pretty standard. Like there's a few different ways to follow the intermittent fasting protocol. And I'm pretty sure for you, I said, look, if you stop eating after 8 o'clock and you start eating at midnight, at midday.
Midday, so I stop eating at midnight. I watch some TV, then at midnight, I go straight to Kentucky KFC. No, you're not recommending that.
Yeah, so midday to 8 p.m. So you've got an 8-hour window that you basically eat your food. The rest of the time, you're leaving it to rest and digest, which just allows your system to reset, recover, and recuperate with lots of energy, because people that tend to hold more body weight are generally built a little bit bigger. They're energy conservers, which means that they actually have a hard time dealing with over amounts of food. Like if they're eating a lot of, like more frequently throughout the day, it's going to disrupt their whole system. So it's actually going to put more stress into the body as well.
It's funny you say that because, and again, and oh, by the way, I just want to say hello. We've got Emmanuel with us, Christopher Lloyd. Love your work, Christopher Lloyd. We've got Christiana with us. If you've just come in, smash that like, share, comment, say hello. Tell me where you're from because I want to hear it. And we've got Lassie with us. Lassie has just shared your upcoming workshop. In fact, let's have a quick. Let's go to sellout Shaun and Edward mode. Let's do a quick sales pitch on our audience. Thanks for watching, guys. Shaun, you've got a workshop coming up. Tell us all about it, my friend. Tell us all about your workshop. We're in sellout mode.
I will. So the Art and Science of Wellbeing workshop, it's a premium workshop, so it is a paid workshop. And what we're diving into on the 29th of July is all around managing and increasing your energy so you can be better at managing and dealing with burnout forever. Because at the moment, there's so much of this going around. People are feeling fatigued and sluggish. And, burnout doesn't just come out of nowhere. It creeps up on you like it came out of nowhere. But my idea is that I want to give you the tools and the strategies I use for myself and my clients to really remove this as an obstacle for you forever.
I'm going to tell you something funny, right? And you're going to find this humorous. So, and 2 years ago, I would never have said this. People now listen to me for health advice. I don't recommend that. But I get asked all the time, Ed, how'd you lose the weight? People are asking me for health tips. Now, my first thing is, please talk to a nutritionist like Shaun Tucker, someone who's actually trained and not a quack, right? I'm a LinkedIn business networking guy, right? Never said I was a health guy. But I suppose the compliment, this is a compliment to you, is that people now see me as a healthy character. People are now asking me for health advice, right? And I credit that to you because the thing that I found, right, and I think a lot of people will benefit, and I know a lot of people benefit from this remark. I've always tried dieting. Dieting to me never actually works, right? Because in dieting, it's you versus your will. It's you versus your urges. It's your willpower versus your urges. And your urges will eventually win. Your willpower will only last so long.
Well, yeah, when it comes to dieting, right, dieting is not supposed to be a long-term process. People forget that dieting is actually intended to be a short-term strategy for you to overcome a very, very specific thing that's happening in your body. That's what it's designed for. So if you go on a specific diet, that's not a lifestyle diet, right? So we're not talking about lifestyle, we're talking about specific diets here. if your body needs something very specific, like it needs a short-term strategy to deal with what's happening right now, then that's why you diet. There shouldn't really be another reason why you diet. Either you're just eating crap because you haven't figured out what's right for your body. Your body is an ancient instrument of information. If you just listen to it, it'll tell you what it needs. So I think that's really key. And I want to give that to people, tap into that intuitive ability of their body knowing what it needs when it needs it.
Yeah. One thing I really hate? Food packaging. I'll tell you why I hate food packaging, right? Yeah. Environmentally, I hate it, but I really hate food packaging. You know that whole star tick thing?
Yeah. Pay to play that one.
Ridiculous. Like I'm not kidding. I saw a pack of donuts, right? Mm-hmm. Donuts, right? As in donuts, right? And it said it had a 3-star health rating on a pack of donuts. Well, yeah. I'm not kidding. What's funny is I'm not kidding. Obviously, I'm not kidding, right? But I'm like, how can a pack of donuts? So it's a 5-star scale. It's 3 stars out of 5. So according to this health scale, a pack of donuts coated in sugar is 3 out of 5 stars healthy. Shaun, can you please explain to me how that works and how I'm meant to take this all seriously? Go, Shaun.
Yeah. First and foremost, you can't actually take it seriously. The reason for this is it's a pay to play type scenario. Okay, there's companies that will pay to get that heart tick on their products. And the funny thing is, right, so anything that comes in a package, right, it normally means that product inside could be months, it could be days, could be years old from when it was initially actually a food item, really. And now it's turned into something that you're consuming, days, weeks, months, maybe even years later. And that's actually one of the fundamental issues that we have when it comes to putting food into our bodies. The fresher we can make it, the less inertia our bodies will take in, which inertia is not good for things like our bodies are not designed to just sleep and sleep and sleep. Our bodies are designed to rest as much as needed and then start the day again. But because of the food quality and things that we put into our bodies, the inertia catches up and we actually end up feeling sluggish, fatigued, and just really shitty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Love it. I just want to check in with our audience very quickly. We've got SB Ramen with us. Thank you. If you've just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. Say hello. If you are watching the recording, please connect with myself and Shaun Tucker. And for those that don't know Shaun Tucker is an amazing nutritionist and health guy from Melbourne, got clients all over the world. And Shaun Tucker is the guy that really helped me master my health and really get on top of it, especially with intermittent fasting. And we're just talking about a few things that just bother me health-wise just out there. And here's the other thing as well, right? Because for a while there, I was feeling really, really, really guilty about being overweight. Like, how I got really fat. I know better. I'm like ex-government. I should know better than ex-military. Now, what was interesting, though, I forgave myself because a few months ago, I went for a walk. I live in a nice part of Sydney. I went for a walk to the local shops. And I just said to myself, so I live about 800 meters from the shops, right? Beautiful, beautiful part of town. And when I was walking there, I just said, I'm just going to run an experiment. I'm just going to count from my house to Woolworths how many advertisements for junk food I see.
Yeah.
Right. So not even going the door of Woolworths, right? So not even going down the escalators to Woolworths. So not even looking in Woolworths. I'm just going to count the number of junk food advertisements. And do you want to hear what the number was, Shaun Tucker?
I don't know. Was it 23?
About 30 to 40.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was anything from a sign for gelati, a bakery selling sugar cookies, like sugar cookies, what they called, not in Australia, what they called shortbread, right? Shortbread.
Yep.
I like shortbread all the way. Fatty burgers, right? Dessert. So I realized, hang on a second, just stop right there, Ed. I was sort of making it was a problem, but in a way the system's rigged against you because I hadn't even got into Woolworths yet. and there's already 30 unhealthy messages so this is just one walk to the shops. There's already 30 messages that have pounded me with unhealthy foods.
Bombarded, right? You're literally bombarded.
I haven't even walked. If I walk into Woolworths, oh well, it's all over. And this is where the supermarkets really annoy me, right? The supermarkets will do this whole thing about diversion and inclusivity and supporting people, and then they'll stack the supermarket aisles with all the worst food that you can eat, food that will shorten your lifespan. I find that quite hypocritical. What do you think? So in one sense, they're all about diversion and D&I and including people, but then they'll try and kill you at the register. What do you think of that statement, Shaun Tucker?
I think it's a very, very political statement, to be honest. I think it's it's dangerous to go down that line. However, we understand.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The game is rigged. The game is rigged in many, many ways. And this is not to keep you healthy. In fact, it is quite the contrast. And in many ways, empowering yourself to make better choices is almost impossible.
Yeah.
If you're shopping at those places, it's a hard game.
And do you remember that film? I love this film. Hey, it's Shirley Copper from Facebook. Love your work, Shirley. If you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. Shaun Tucker are just ranting. Not ranting. We're having an in-depth discussion about health and all those fine things. And Shaun's a great guy. He's helped me lose a lot of weight. And remember that film? Did you ever? Of course you would have. Stupid question. I remember that film Super Size Me with Morgan Spurlock, the McDonald's film. Remember that one? Oh, no. Have I lost Shaun Tucker? Hello, Shaun, are you there? Oh, no. Can you guys... Shaun, are you there? Yeah. Shaun?
I'm still here.
Sorry. You remember the film McDonald's must be listening in.
Super Size Me, yeah.
So I love that film Super Size Me. When did you watch it last?
If I'm being fully transparent, I've never watched the full movie.
Oh, okay. One of my favorite sort of, documentary films, right? Like a documentary film. So the guy's called Morgan Spurlock. He's this New Yorker. And what he basically does is the whole premise of the film is for 30 days. So McDonald's, in that time, McDonald's have improved. Credit to McDonald's. They've actually improved a lot since then. But in that time, what McDonald's did was that McDonald's was actually putting out ads trying to suggest that they were sort of healthy. Right? They were doing a bit of misinformation in advertising. Anyway, so what happened was Morgan Spurlock did this challenge where he's going to live 30 days on nothing but McDonald's. And basically, he has to eat McDonald's for 30 days straight, and he has to have 3 square meals a day with no and he can't just live on salads. He's got to try everything on the menu. So he just can't sit there and live on. So he has to have basically the balanced McDonald's meal.
Yeah.
And it tracks his adventures. He travels across America on a road trip doing this crazy mission. And in America, they had this thing called Super Size Me. They don't have it anymore, so he got rid of it. But basically, Super Size Me is like ultra large. So you got small, medium, and large in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Super Size Me is like it's like triple large. So instead of just having let's say this is a small, right? This will be the Super Size Me shape. Right, of Coke. It's literally like that box of tissues, right? Now, where I'm going here, this thing is, if he gets supersized, if they offer to supersize, he has to say yes and he has to eat it all. So they literally would have almost a tissue box size of French fries with every meal. So you have your burger, the Coke's like that big, the soda, I should say, it's America, and you literally would have that, and the whole film was just him calling out McDonald's on it. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous, right? And many, many people still eat. I don't know if you can hear my fan in the background there.
That's an aggressive fan. That fan's...
My fan does not like McDonald's, apparently, or McDonald's does not.
Yeah, so I reckon McDonald's are listening on this line. I reckon, you know what will happen? Like a horror film, that door will happen behind you and Ronald McDonald will come with an axe and chop your head off. And like an 80s horror film, your head will just, like a rubber head will come off sort of thing.
Yeah. So apologies for that noise if anyone can hear that. That's quite aggressive. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ronald's onto you, Shaun Tucker. He wants you dead.
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep tonight, Ed. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, so as you go to bed, think about Ronald McDonald carving you up in your sleep. Just think about that, Shaun.
Yeah, but no, full truth. Like this is a real problem. You know, as a health professional in many ways, like I've been a personal trainer in the space for 7 years. I then transitioned to more of like a health consultant. I've studied. I have a bachelor of health science. I studied nutrition. I studied sports science. I did all these things. I studied human physiology, and now my computer's had a bit more of a fit. But anyway, yeah, the way human beings work is we work in as a society, right? So in my degree, we also studied sociology and psychology and all of these things in my bachelor's degree that I got. And it was just so interesting to see how a human being really actually integrates into this complex world that we live in. And when you've got people who really, really understand the human mind and how it operates, like you've got marketers who are trained in, perhaps they have master's degrees or PhDs in, psychology and things like that. They understand how the human mind works. It's not too crazy to put two and two together and realize that the game is rigged because these guys know how the human mind works. You walk into a supermarket, you walk into McDonald's, all of these promotions, all of these things where it says like, I don't know, $2.97 for a cheeseburger. Like it's not $3, it's $2.97. Like it's very specially designed against you. And that's not to keep you sick or to keep you well or anything like that. It's literally just to turn over more business in many ways. So these genius people have put together a system that works to help create them more business, but they don't really care about you and your individual health. Yeah. Whereas people like myself, people like other professionals in this space, we do care about your health and your well-being. And sometimes it's just hard to, I guess, break the cycle in many ways.
So the first thing I want to say to you is this one as well, right? One of the key things. So I was at the end of the whole lockdowns, I was in bad shape. I was really overweight, really unhealthy, right? Mm-hmm. To someone listening who's they're big, whatever it is, they're just unhealthy, right? They know they're unhealthy, know they're not well. To someone who's really, really unhealthy like I was 2 years ago, what do you say to that person listening right now, Shaun Tucker?
You are not alone. No. That's the first and foremost thing I would say. And the other thing I would say is it's okay. We all go through periods of this being very healthy, being very unhealthy. We're not superhuman. We're not machines. Naturally, we might fill ourselves up with how we feel. And oftentimes that doesn't mean we're going to, fill ourselves up with good food. And if the game is rigged and we go and buy, a snack to make us feel a bit better, like comfort eating is a real thing. I'm a comfort eater too. I think most people are. And if they're not, they're probably lying to you, right? So if you go and buy one snack at the supermarket, just know that one snack can be the difference between you getting more healthy or you not. Because that one snack doesn't stop at one snack. It's you just going into that environment, getting tricked by all the, you could have the strongest willpower in the world and still fall for the tricks of the genius marketers that have put all these yellow signs and everything there.
Because going back to the scammy donuts, and for those that are just tuned in, what I was talking about before was, and I'm not kidding, what's funny is I'm not kidding, I went to the supermarket. And so in Australia, we have this whole tick thing, right? Basically, there's 5 stars, right? It goes from 0, I think it goes from 1 to 5 stars, right? I think that's a scale. It's a 5-star scale. And I saw a pack of donuts that were coated in sugar that had 3 stars out of 5. Now, here's the point. Eating the donuts would reduce your health and make you sicker. Would we agree with that?
Yes. Yeah.
So just to be clear, so I think anyone watching would say, yes, Ed, if you sat there and chugged those donuts, that would actually make you weaker as a human. It would be a bad thing for you.
Let's just say it's going to come with a cost. It's not
Yeah.
just the cost of what they're charging you, right?
But the distortion is, so the 3 out of 5 star is the distortion. To me, that's the real distortion of it, because 3 out of 5 star means, it's actually okay for you. Like, it's 3 out of 5. So let's say 1's bad for you, 5's eating a piece of celery. It's not too far off a piece of celery.
Yeah. The only problem with the health star ratings is they don't put it on your fresh fruit and vegetables, usually, from my experience of looking at the. Yeah, that's right. But it's usually just on products that are in boxes. There's not much that are on, let's say the plastic things. And I know that they're not really using single-use plastics much anymore, but if you buy a 3-packet of zucchinis or something, I don't know if they do have the star rating on there. I'm actually not sure.
You know what would be funny? It wouldn't surprise me if, like, the zucchini's 2 stars out of 5 and the donuts are 3 stars. I think it's beyond satire. That would not surprise me if that would happen.
Also, I've got a story on that as well, because one of my clients, they called me when I started working with them. This is over a year ago now. And they called me from the supermarket. They said, Shaun, I'm really hungry. I want a snack and I want something good. Should I go to the health food section and get one of those, what are they called? Protein balls or protein bars or something like that. I'm like, mate, no, go to the fruit and vegetable section and pick up a banana.
Yeah.
Because that banana snack is going to do you a lot better than any of those protein balls in the package that's been manufactured in some international country for God knows when, right?
Yeah.
You're always going to be better off with the more vibrant the food is, the better it is for you. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Shaun, I'm going to say I loved our chat. I want to say a big thank you to all our viewers. We should start wrapping up now. Now, Shaun, I'd just love to hear all your closing thoughts. Tell us what you think, and tell us a bit about your workshop as well.
Well, this is a complicated mess that society has really made for itself when it comes to health and wellness. You go and, I suppose, the experts in many ways, they might say that this food is good at this time. They might be preaching that this is the best food for you. But then in 2 years' time, that same expert might actually completely shift it and change their opinion on that same food that they said was great for you.
Which they all have. They've all done that. Like, remember the whole fat-free thing? Fat's bad, sugar's awesome. Remember that?
Yep.
Now sugar's bad. Now sugar's bad. It's like, do they follow the science or do they just make up the science as they go along?
Well, usually when you're looking at the research papers, looking who it's funded by gives you a good indication of what kind of story they're trying to push or that kind of thing. Because, there's a lot of things that don't really add up. And I think if you start paying attention to not how you feel in your body, but start paying attention to what your body actually wants or what makes it feel good. So when you eat something, notice how you feel when you eat it. If you feel like crap when you've eaten it, maybe it's not the best food for you. If you feel really great and you feel like energetic after you've eaten it, maybe that's what your body prefers. So the overload of information that we have these days, we get food delivered at any time of the day. We got instant access to information. I can say, hey, Google, what's the best food for me right now? And I'll get a response. I don't know what it will be, but...
Supersize McDonald's, quarter pounder, double quarter pounder, supersize.
Well, apparently they're naming cafes. Hey, Google, you can stop now.
I'm still worried about Ronald McDonald kicking open your door for the axe and going, yeah, and your head flying off and like an 80s horror film.
Yeah, the fan's still having a bit of a hissy fit, but it's doing a bit better, I think.
They're like have you seen those Final Destination films? Those.
I haven't.
Well, so in Final Destination, I got to watch what I say. It's a live stream. So if anyone's watching, watch the Final Destination films. Basically, it's these 80s and 90s horror films where this group of teenagers avoid death, right? Something happens, they avoid death, and death basically gets annoyed at them, and all of them start dying in very mysterious circumstances. So in other words, you'll have a computer fan that takes off, and then what will happen is someone will walk in, trip you over, and your head goes into the fan, and then you die. Something like you die in miraculous, crazy ways.
It sounds pretty accurate.
There you go. I reckon Ronald McDonald with the axe is more likely after us dissing McDonald's. I actually like McDonald's for the record.
Yeah. I mean, I actually prefer, if I had the choice between McDonald's and Hungry Jack's, I'd say I'd go Hungry Jack's.
I don't know. I've tried Hungry Jack's. I always say the burgers are better, but you know what? Nothing beats Big Mac.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was in Japan, I did have a Big Mac, and the McDonald's, I believe, in Japan is better than the one here. So I'm a health guy, right? I haven't eaten Macca's in probably 10 years, but I have eaten it, and I'm not saying that it's it's not the worst food on the planet, because there are worse. Yeah. And if you feel like you need to eat it, sometimes it's okay to give yourself permission to do it.
There you go. And I remember some years ago, I'm an old man now. I'm such an old guy. I was actually in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, for a few months on a work project. And McDonald's had this thing called Make It Bacon. So if you order a burger, you say Make It Bacon, they put extra bacon on it. And I remember going into McDonald's, I have a big sign saying Make It Bacon, and it will get me every time. I go, Make It Bacon.
Yeah, I love that. It's it's crucial. That bacon in the Big Mac, was it a Big Mac?
Yeah, so what they do is McDonald's. I don't know if it was just a local St. Louis, Missourian thing, but what they do is you go Make It Bacon, they make you a fresh burger with bacon. So if it doesn't have bacon, they'll put in bacon. If it has got bacon, you'll get extra bacon. But you got to go Make It Bacon. They have a big sign saying Make It Bacon. And I'd be Make It Bacon.
Yeah, I love it. I can see
American. And you can see me doing it too.
Yeah.
You can see a younger version of me saying Make It Bacon.
I can, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, to give everyone, I guess, a bit of clarity on what's happening in the workshop. So Saturday, not this Saturday coming, Saturday the 29th of July at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, so Sydney, Melbourne time. I'm going to be running the workshop that's the art and science of well-being. And it's all going to be around managing, increasing your energy, but also decreasing things like burnout and stress. So giving you the tools, blending from ancient wisdom and modern health science to give you the best, latest tips and strategies to overcome these fundamental issues.
There we go. And friends, I highly recommend Shaun Tucker's workshops to speak to him. And also, friends, while I got you as well, quick sellout, Ed. This weekend, we've got our LinkedIn Influencer Mastery Workshop. If you want to talk LinkedIn, send me a message. I'm your LinkedIn. So Shaun's your health guy, and I'm your LinkedIn man. Is that a fair way of categorizing things, Shaun Tucker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because no one loves health more than Shaun Tucker, and no one loves LinkedIn more than me. So there we go.
And I'm so pumped to see you on Friday in the Melbourne meetup, Ed, as well.
Yes, actually, thanks for reminding me. Yes, I'm off to Melbourne Friday. Shaun Tucker and Karim are running our Melbourne meetup, 2:30 p.m. at Pullman on the Park East, Melbourne. And we're also being there for lunch at 1 o'clock. And the lunch has been very popular. We've started lunches of our Sydney Australian meetups. And we have like 20 people plus for lunch now. Then it just flows into the meetup. It's been fantastic, Shaun Tucker.
Super pumped for that, and I can't wait to see what everyone's choosing. I'm probably going to eat the burger. I'm going to be the first one to say that
because it's a Pullman burger, and this is not. And I don't know. Do you reckon I should get the Pullman burger and say Make It Bacon?
I'm going to record you if you do.
Make It Bacon, and they'll be. Oh,
I'm not sure what you mean.
They're all French, so they'll be. I don't know. I can't speak French. It's a French hotel, so they'll probably kick us out, and we'll never be allowed back there if I insult them like that. But I'm wearing a French top though, Lacoste. So there we go. We're going all French today.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, Ed, I want to thank you so much for having me here, and yeah, it's been a great conversation with you, and hope some people have got some inherent value out of it.
Pleasure. And seriously, friends, Shaun's a great guy. If you've got any health questions, please connect with Shaun directly. Reach out to him. And again, if you want to talk LinkedIn, your friend Edward Zia is not too far away. Shaun Tucker, thank you so much. And to our wonderful viewers, love your work. Well, Shaun, I appreciate you, big man.
Appreciate you too, Ed. Thank you so much. God bless.